Hi, I'm Mike Bethia, the founder here at KNOXX Career Networking, and welcome to another edition of KNOXX Talks. KNOXX Talks is a series of interviews with community leaders and local employers where we discuss our city and the positive things happening here while also giving our guests a chance to share more about themselves and the organizations they represent. KNOXX is a recruiting platform giving area candidates meaningful visibility and a chance to share a video introduction of themselves for employers, summarizing how they can help a company while employers finally get a clear sense of what candidates in the talent pool can offer. We hope to see you on KNOXX. Enjoy this week's edition, and thanks for watching.
Thanks, Mike, and welcome everyone to another segment of KNOXX Talks. I'm Susanna Matthews, Director of Engagement here at KNOXX, and today is a first for us in that we have not one, but two guests. We are pleased to have join us Sam Foreman and Jamela Peterson. Sam serves as special counsel practicing business law with Fleeson, Gouen, Colson, and Kitch, and is actively engaged in the entrepreneurial community. Jamela arrived in Wichita in 2015, and in that short time, she has already immersed herself in our community by launching a startup called Preneur Lab. Welcome to you both.
Thank you.
Well, it's become a tradition here in our KNOXX Talks to ask each guest to share their Wichita story. And Sam, you're a Kansas native. You've had a little time to make your mark here. So let's start with you, Jamela. You're just beginning to make your mark here.
Right.
Can you share more about your journey and what led you to Wichita, and how have you been welcomed in the community thus far?
Right. So I have recently moved to Wichita. I've been here for almost 2 years now, and I did not expect to be here at all. I finished school, and I wanted to be a little closer to family. And I moved here, and I was on a 2-year plan. I had a plan where I was going to go and just be here and save money and then leave after 2 years, but my perception has completely changed since then. I have been able to do so much in Wichita, and Wichita is really a gem that you don't expect. And
can you say a little bit more about that, about what your perception or your expectation was, and then what has
Right.
been the reality in contrast?
Right, and being a young person, my perception was, oh no, how did I end up in Wichita? Like, there's nothing here. I'm just going to be here for a little while, save up a little bit, and go back home. And I'm originally from Atlanta, so that was my plan, was to save up and go back to Atlanta, but it has completely changed my perception here, from connecting with a lot of resources that are available that you don't even expect in Wichita. And it really started with the Kansas Leadership Center, going there and meeting people, and it evolved from the Kansas Leadership Center to the Entrepreneurship Task Force to Wichita State and the amazing resources there. But I think the main thing that changed my perception of Wichita is the people, how collaborative they are and just how supportive they are of each other. And so I'm not in a hurry anymore to leave Wichita.
It sounds like Wichita has warmly welcomed you.
Right,
That's
it has.
great.
It has.
Now, to you, Sam, how has your Wichita story unfolded, and why are you so engaged with the entrepreneurial and tech community here?
So I love Wichita, and it is all about the people.
Right.
The people here have been great. I moved here about 5.5, 6 years ago for work. I didn't really know what to expect. I thought of Wichita as a bigger community than where I was from that would probably have more opportunities, but it's been so much more than that. The entrepreneurial and the tech community in that time have really started to take off again and have a lot of energy. I'm so passionate about being engaged with those sectors of the community because of the opportunities that they create for people. Wichita is filled with wonderful people that work hard, that really care about each other, that collaborate to make this community a better place, and entrepreneurship and the creation of technology really hold a lot of promise for creating new jobs, for creating innovations that make people's lives better. And I think that that's something that we historically have done very well in Wichita, and that we can continue to be world class at. And that's why those are so important to me.
Positive changes are definitely afoot here in Wichita. Can you talk a little bit about that pivot, and why is Wichita now beginning to embrace that change and that innovation and evolution?
I think it's because we've seen where we've been at as a community and what direction we're going on. And we see the need for those changes and the potential that pursuing entrepreneurship and a more robust tech sector hold for us. Wichita, if anybody's familiar with the Chung Report, has a really strong history and a very strong tradition of a very robust and thriving entrepreneurial community. We also have a very strong history of technological innovation. The aviation industry is one of the most technology-heavy sectors of any industry sector, and we have a world-class industry hub for that here. But we've sort of been on a decline over the last couple of decades, and I think people realize that, and they see the opportunity to create a better and more vibrant community and future for our community by investing heavily in both of those areas.
And certainly there is a need for expertise in law throughout all of that.
I sure hope so.
So with Sam practicing law, that's a little more straightforward. We can wrap our heads around that. Jamela, with you, it might be a little less clear. Can you tell us a little bit more about Preneur Lab? I love the name, but for those unfamiliar with it, what is Preneur Lab and what's the driving idea behind it?
Right. So basically, it is a curriculum that helps youth start their own businesses. It takes them step by step to understand entrepreneurship and what it is. Youth aren't exposed to it early on, and I don't think they learn anything about business until maybe college. And I think that point it's too late, and we need to start planting the seed early on so that they can see, oh, that's a career option for me. I can be an entrepreneur. I can start a business. And so basically, Preneur Lab is a curriculum and a platform that gives them the resource to actually start a business and make money. And
And why do you see that as being so vital for youth? Why at that age and stage?
Right, because they are such sponges at that age. They take in so much information, and it really helps to conceptualize everything that they're learning. It makes it practical. They go to school and they're like, why are we learning math? Why are we learning reading? What is the point of this? And it really allows them to see why it's important. And
so learning how to become entrepreneurs, it sounds like you're saying, can help them later in life, even if they don't become entrepreneurs, learning those skills.
Exactly. They become better employees. They are looking beyond just their role in a job and seeing how they impact their company. So
that's got to be so powerful. Yeah. Sam, let's talk about technology and how it relates to Wichita. You work with many entrepreneurs and startups in the local community, and some of them may be unaware of some of the exciting things that are a part of our city's history that you referred to regarding technology. Can you speak a little more about some of that, and maybe what are some of the organizations or initiatives that are available for them, specifically when it comes to driving tech innovation here?
Yeah. Well, now is a really exciting time, I think, in the tech sector. I feel like there's a real high level of excitement, momentum, and energy brewing, and there are a lot of organizations that are pitching in to really make that happen. There's a local chapter of Women Who Code here in Wichita. There's groups called DevICT, Open Wichita, the Labor Party. There's always stuff going on there that centers around technology. There's Make ICT that really does a really great job of making resources available to people that are doing more tangible applications of technology. You see from the universities more programming that's targeted at the cutting edge of some of the professional applications of technology. Both Friends University and Wichita State now have cybersecurity programs. Wichita area. Yeah, Innovar. Innovar's been great. Yeah, exactly. So there's all kinds of stuff.
Sounds like you're just rattling them off.
I mean, and so these are all great ways for people to plug in, get to know people that are involved in the tech sector. At the same time, I feel like people are starting to begin to identify Wichita more as a place that is a high-tech town. It's not just a manufacturing town. It's not just an ag town. It's not just oil and gas. Wichita is driving innovation at a world-class level, and I think people are starting to realize that. I'd be remiss if I didn't point out that our local investors are also getting more behind funding the technology that's coming out of Wichita, and that's critical both because of the mentorship that they provide, but also the funding that's able to get really cool technology-oriented ideas off the ground.
So let's connect the dots here a little bit. With the Hire Local Challenge, our intention is to create an opportunity for candidates and employers to discover each other in a new way and in a more visible way. And then you've also talked about this. It sounds like we're really on the cusp of something kind of tremendous when it comes to technological growth and innovation. So for people who are in that tech space, what is the opportunity that's present for them with the Hire Local Challenge?
Oh.
Yeah. Well, you have a business. I have lots of thoughts, but I talk too much already.
Right. So I would like to bring up the buzzword business ecosystem, and we talk a lot about that. And from conversations that I had, I don't know if people really understand what that means. And so I like to apply it to the kind of original meaning of it, which is how well does an organism thrive or grow in its environment? Does it have the resources that it needs as far as water, air, other plants and animals around it? And that's the same thing with the business ecosystem here. Can people find a job? Can they make a living? Can they start a business? Can we thrive in Wichita's environment? And I believe that the tech sector is like the fifth element of our ecosystem. It is essential to every business. And if we have to go to San Francisco or to New York or India to get the tech that we need to start our businesses and to create jobs, then we need to work in our ecosystem to make sure that that tech industry is there and supporting the people who live here in our environment. So.
Well said.
Yeah.
Anything you want to add to that, Sam?
Yeah, I think the Hire Local initiative can really provide a tremendous connecting point for people. So much of taking that next step forward in terms of the tech sector has to do with perception. There's a widely held perception that this is not a high-tech community, that we don't have a large pool of tech talent here to draw on, that there aren't lots of tech jobs to be had here. Certainly we have a great deal of progress that we still need to make to push that sector forward, but we're a lot farther along. There are a lot more talent here. There's a lot more opportunities here than people realize. And I think that that's what I'm most excited about on the Hire Local initiative is that that I think that people can use that to change some of that perception and to create some of those connections that will get the resources matched with the opportunities.
Well, there is your news flash for the day. There are tech jobs here. KNOXX is using a video-based approach to give candidates better visibility in their career search. And so as we try to help them get beyond the limitations of their written resume with video, what are your impressions about that video-centered approach?
I think it's awesome. I've been on both sides of the table being interviewed as well as interviewing people, and I think it just makes it way more convenient. It takes the stress off of being and meeting in one place, and it speeds up the process, really. If you can say, okay, I can make time to video chat or create a video versus going and putting on a suit and driving over and making sure I'm 10 minutes early. So it just really helps speed up the process of hiring.
Yeah.
Right.
Sam, do you have impressions about the use of the video-based approach on the platform?
Yeah, I'm really excited about it. I think it brings a whole new opportunity for people to tell their story, to communicate different things about how they would be a part of a team for an employer that I think weren't really present before. I mean, communication is absolutely critical for the success of any team. And 93% of communication is nonverbal. So having that opportunity to go beyond the resume, to go beyond the written word, to create that sort of impression and communicate that sort of information, I think will improve the effectiveness of the hiring process by giving people access to another dimension that they didn't really have access to. And I think for some candidates in particular, it'll give them the opportunity to present themselves in a different fashion that might help them to better get their foot in the door where they wouldn't have been able to, either by being able to communicate things like enthusiasm, how well they communicate with people, professionalism, just different things like that that are easily glossed over on one piece of paper that someone can obsess over for hours. Not that I've ever done that before, but yeah.
Hopefully we are hitting all those fine points today.
Yeah.
Well, let's close with an eye to the immediate future. What are some initiatives that are coming up for each of you, or causes that are dear to your hearts that maybe our viewers would like to be involved in? What will you be up to in 2017 and beyond?
Well, I think 2017 is going to be a really extraordinary year for Wichita. There's a lot of great things going on across the community. From the tech sector specifically, I think some of the movements that I'm really excited about seeing, and they're not particularly structured, but they're general initiatives that are going on, is that people are starting to change that perception about how technology fits with Wichita, that there really is a strong and growing tech sector here. That's something that anybody can engage with. It's as simple as having a conversation with somebody who thinks that they want to be involved in technology but thinks that there's not going to be an opportunity for that here in Wichita. It's the growth of the mentorship opportunities there. There are lots of opportunities to mentor people, whether it's at the student level, whether it's a tech entrepreneur starting a business. And quite frankly, I'm really excited to see the growth of the investor movement here in Wichita. I feel like our investment community is really seeing a reinvigoration over the last 6 months to a year, and particularly in the technology sector, and their willingness to fund those ideas. And I think that that's very exciting, and I hope that that will continue and is something that more and more investors will get on board with.
As do I.
That's a perfect answer. I can't follow up with that. But for Preneur Lab, we are definitely growing and scaling, working with new organizations and youth groups this year. Also, we're working with the K-8 Do Entrepreneurship program and Camp Destination Innovation. And so we're working with lots of different organizations. So there's opportunities to, like Sam said, to get involved and mentor young people and help them see a path of where they can go for their future.
Sam, Jamela, thanks so much for stopping by. This was a great conversation. Keep doing wonderful work as you already are, and I just wish you both continued success.
Thank you.
If you're an employer wanting to discover Wichita talent during the Hire Local Challenge, I encourage you to go to www.hirelocalchallenge.com and activate a KNOXX employer profile. Use the promo code HireLocal17, and you'll get a special rate that will allow you to use the KNOXX platform during the Hire Local Challenge to post jobs and review candidate profiles. If you'd like more information or a demonstration of the KNOXX platform, we invite you to contact us at 316-425-7200 or email us at info@knox.net. If you're a candidate wanting to be visible during the HLC, go to our event website and create a candidate profile. You'll have the opportunity to upload a brief video introduction where you can speak directly to employers and tell them how you can help their companies. Thank you for watching. We'll be introducing another community partner next week, so keep watching for posts on the KNOXX Facebook page and Twitter feed. If you have a question about the Hire Local Challenge, feel free to message us on social media. Or if you just want to stay up to date on our progress, go to facebook.com/KNOXX and click on the sign up button. As we close, we want to extend another big thanks to World Studios and Lightspeed VT as our video production partner. They have made the production of these interview sessions possible. And if you're needing video-related production or virtual training services, please consider using them. We'll see you next time on KNOXX Talks.